Hi everyone, and welcome back to our series on talking with people living with schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder. I'm here again with Vicki and Peter, and my name is Lauren. Today we're going to be talking a little bit more about medications and what it's like or what role they play in managing our illness. So what role do medications play in managing your schizoaffective disorder?
I'll go first. So when I was first diagnosed, I was very young. Teenager, and my mom was kind of more or less the one saying yes to medications, no to medications. At first, she didn't want me to be on medications because she, again, didn't know what the illness was. She knew medication could have side effects and stuff like that. She didn't want to be like medicating me unnecessarily. But we realized that is something I did need at one point. So I was put on this certain drug, and I of course, being a young kid, didn't really want to take it because also I got side effects as well. I can't remember what the side effect was. I think I got headaches on it, and I noticed that was really bad. It was one that dissolved in your mouth. So I just noticed I got bad headaches, didn't like the way it was, so we switched over to a different one, tried that one for a while, seemed to be working, so we stuck with that one. In the whole course of my medication history, at one point I was taking, I think, 5 different pills. One of them was an antidepressant, and 2 antipsychotics. And for the insomnia, I had one to make you fall asleep. What's that
Sleeping
one?
pill.
Sleeping pill, yeah, sleeping pill. And on top of that, I had, just a bunch of those. And it seemed to be kind of working, but like they never really, it was a lot to put on such a young kid because it seemed like an excessive amount of medication, but I think I really did need it at the time. And I'm fortunate enough that I was able to kind of reduce a lot of the medications because being on that many different medications, it was making me foggy and like very, very tired a lot of times. And that's something I still deal with today, but with my one medication. But I was able to kind of reduce the amount after a while because I was able to cope better, like with my own reasoning skills and stuff like that. And so now I'm just on one injection right now, as far as that goes. So meds, I've never been med resistant. I've always taken to medication very well. So everything that I've tried usually worked. It was just basically the side effects that kind of needed to be adjusted kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I noticed with this one drug that I'm on, I don't have that many side effects, so I don't get a lot of side effects as on the other drugs that were on before. So that's my experience with medication.
Oh, thanks.
For me, the first medication I went on was an antidepressant and a tranquilizer. The antidepressant worked quite well, but the tranquilizer actually grew breasts that were leaking milk. So that was difficult. So then my doctor changed that right away. And then I stayed on that medication, although I wasn't med compliant at first until I was actually a few months before I had my first inpatient hospitalization. So I take my medication for a while, feel better, go off and on. It got to the point where my marriage was strained, and so my wife at the time and I agreed that until my symptoms were better, we would separate. So we separated, and I chose to work with my doctors and the nurse and get healthier that way. And I started getting insight into the fact that, hey, medication works and I need to be on medication. I still wasn't diagnosed yet though, because I hadn't accepted the fact that I had schizophrenia. And then when I got hospitalized as an inpatient for the first time, that's when I got on better medication, and it made a huge difference and it settled me down. And there's been very few side effects. When I have had side effects, I talk to my pharmacist and my prescribing physician. And then another thing, because I've been an inpatient on a psychiatric ward, I think 5 times, each time the medication got changed or increased or decreased. And so with each change in medication or a new set of medication, I find my symptoms are better controlled and the side effects are less. The only
great.
side effect I still experience is weight gain,
Yeah.
and occasionally tremors.
Yeah. Okay.
But nothing like the first medication I was on, that was another thing. I had tremors like this, but now it's just minor. No one can really see it.
Yeah, I've noticed that I had a lot of weight gain with all the antipsychotics that I was on. And then, I think just tiredness in general, just the fatigue is what's left over kind of that I still experience to this day kind of thing.
Yeah, side effects, like weight gain was a really bad one for me too. When I was on an injection of an antipsychotic, I gained like 50 pounds in the span of like a month or two. Like it was rough. And it's taken a long time to kind of figure out nutrition and exercise and stuff to kind of manage weight while on antipsychotics. But also I had the tremors a bit too on some of the meds. I think right now the biggest one for me is agitation or restlessness. So that internal restlessness that you feel sometimes.
Constantly have to move as well. For me
Yeah.
as well. That's needing to move. You probably see it in the video because I'm just like doing things with my hand and my feet.
I know, I'm fidgeting too.
What I'm doing is I'm actually like directing my stress kind of into my legs and down.
Yeah,
It's like I'm locked into place.
yeah.
Otherwise, normally when I'm in a group therapy or
I-
just about anywhere, I'm doing this.
I'll move side to side sometimes as well.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm
Oh,
just
the
like,
bob
I
and
need
weave.
The bob and
Yeah.
weave, yep, yeah.
Like a basketball player.
Yeah. What other side effects? Well, so the role medication plays in my life. I've been kind of anti-medication a lot of the time, and not because so it's been for a multitude of reasons. So I'll either get better and feel like I don't need the medications anymore, or I will think that I'll have a delusion around medications where I think that the doctors are using them to harm me or to poison me or for mind control or that kind of thing. That's one of my biggest delusions that I have. So medications has been a really hard one for me to kind of wrap my head around managing. But I have gotten to a place where I've kind of come to learn my pattern of stopping medication leading to
good.
hospitalization or worse sometimes. So yeah, the insight has been slow to build, but I do think I have the insight now. And I was on an injection for a while too, which really helped to kind of wrap my head around, okay, I need to take this medication. It's something that's going to help me. It's something that I need to do. And I just didn't like the side effects that I was having while I was on it. So I switched back to oral, but I've been taking it pretty regularly ever since. But that's kind of my struggle with medications.
I had a struggle with that as well, mainly taking the medications. A lot of it wasn't due to the fact that I was delusional. I didn't want to take them because, well, there was part delusion to it. The others, the voices, they told me that it was poison at one point. They said it's killing the connection between them and me. So I stopped. And then the other part of it, even when I wasn't delusional, was remembering to take in the morning. It's like my mind knew that I didn't want to take the medication and I would just forget. I'm very forgetful, so that's why I am on an injection one, because I don't have to worry about taking it every morning. I usually get sidetracked to the point where I'm like, I go to the kitchen to take it, but then I get sidetracked by something else, and then I forget that I have to take it, right? And that happens at night too, so I'd have a lot of days where I'd miss doses, and like, it just wasn't working very well. That's why we went on the injection. I also was court ordered to take medication as well because I was so uncompliant with it as well. So I have that court order to take the medication, and if I don't show up for my appointments to get the injection, I do. Like someone can call and they can bring me in to get it done, which is a little unfair, but like I understand why.
It's really hard, like the court-ordered stuff, or like, so
Autonomy,
where the self-autonomy line is. So, like it's good that you're being forced to take your medications in a way, but where is that decision? You know, where are you allowed to make that decision for yourself?
Yeah.
That's kind of a hard one to navigate and a hard one to balance.
I get why they do it, but at the same time, it feels a little like you don't have control over your own body, right?
Yeah.
Or like what goes into your body and all that, and it's hard to deal with at the beginning, especially when you feel like you're doing well, and you feels like, for me, it felt like the police were always looming behind me if I didn't go, or if I was late. I would be like, oh my goodness, are they gonna come and get me? Like, I had that paranoia as well back when I was told that I was court ordered to take it, and but I understand now that it's for my benefit. It's not because they want to control me or that they think I'm a bad person and I need to have it or whatever. It's just basically they want me well.
Yeah.
And that's something that I had to take a long time to figure out because I had those delusions where I was like, oh, they just want to control me. Like they don't think I can survive on my own thing, or like, I was blaming them for like making them the bad guy when they clearly weren't. They just wanted me to be healthy.
It's hard, the paranoia, like I have never been court ordered to take medications, but I've had it where I was going through a really med non-compliant period where I wasn't taking my medications, and so my psychiatrist set it up with the pharmacy where I would go in and take my medications there in front of the pharmacist every day. Yeah, it was really helpful in terms of just kind of having a good relationship with someone who was there to just kind of watch me take my medications and to just kind of monitor that and to be able to check in if I wasn't taking them so that somebody knew. And that was when I was living alone, so that was really helpful.
For me, the last time I was med non-compliant was 1997, and it was such a horrible experience. I can't even, like, I can't put words into what I was going through. But at that point, I decided that I was going to do everything in my power for the rest of my life to make sure I was med compliant, and so far that has worked.
Yeah, I think with the injection, I don't know if I could ever take oral medication again because honestly, I still would forget to take it and I'd be very inconsistent. And I think that I do that with my other medications as well. I'm not very consistent taking my other medications because I just forget. And I think it's just my mind, saying I don't want to take it kind of thing. And
I think a lot of people have troubles taking medications, but there's kind of like more severe consequences for us if we don't take our medications.
Yeah, that's
compared
true.
to a diabetic, for example.
Yeah.
So the next question, we've already kind of touched on it a little bit, but it was just around side effects and the impact it's had on your life. So do you want to talk any more about side effects?
I think the important thing is to communicate with your doctor and your pharmacy about side effects. That's the big thing. And even if it seems little, even if it seems like if anything's different, get it checked out either with your pharmacist or your doctor, because sometimes little things can morph into big things.
Yeah, my nurse and my psychiatrist, they check in with me at the beginning of every appointment to kind of see like where I'm at in terms of fogginess, where I'm at in terms of memory, where I'm at in terms of concentration, because those are my main current side effects of medications. And so we just kind of check in on that, see where I'm at, see if I can manage it, and then go from there. See if we need to make any adjustments or anything. But we have that open communication and that open dialogue around side effects and around medications, which is really helpful.
And I sometimes still blame medication or side effects for my problems. Like this depression, part of it was that I gained a lot of weight again, and so it was more diabetes related than it was medication or side effect. So it's a matter of ruling out things as well. It's not always medication or side effects from medication that are the reason for the physical issues.
Yeah, and that's another important thing to mention is that people with schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder are at a higher risk for illnesses such as diabetes or heart disease or that sort of thing. And I think that has largely to do with side effects of medication, so like leading to weight gain, leading to other health issues. So that's important to just kind of be aware of when you're on medications for schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder. Are there any other concerns or additional comments you have around medications that you want to share? I think we covered.
I just want to say, like, if medication is not inherently bad, I just want to stress that if you're going through a struggle with hallucinations and stuff, or with the schizoaffective disorder, try medication. Give it a try. Like, don't be resistant to it. Like, try it out. Like, because it could drastically change your life for the better if you get on the right one, right? So don't just say, I don't want to take medication, because it can help you. It's meant to help you, really. And I know a lot especially in the beginning when I was first diagnosed, I was resistant to medication. I didn't want to take it because, you know, I was young, and you hear so much bad stories about people with medication and that illness in general, that stigma there. I wouldn't be here in this position where I'm very well functioning and very, I wouldn't be living as best of life if I didn't take the medication. And I think that's important, that you don't evilize medication in general. Just give it a shot and see if it works for you, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
One other thing I want to say about medication is only one part of recovery. So there's medication, there's keeping up with your appointments, and there's group therapy, and then being part of a community that supports you.
Yeah. So I kind of have a bit of I struggled a bit around them not really knowing how psychiatric medication works, right? Like we don't know a lot about how exactly it works, and that kind of bothered me for a while, but I've kind of come around to what you're saying about it helps me with my day-to-day life. It helps me function better. It helps me lead a more meaningful life.
Yeah.
So, and the way I kind of see it, to wrap in your comment, was that I see medication as like the foundation.
The building block.
So you need to be on it helps to be on medication in order for you to address the other facets of your life, and to effectively engage in therapy, and to effectively engage with your community, and to effectively engage with other facets of your life.
Yeah.
So I find it to just be a really good foundation. And so, yeah, if you're struggling with medication, talk with your doctor. Just have that open conversation around medication with your doctors, and hopefully something will stick, and hopefully something will work out for you, because it can really affect your life for the better. So thank you so much, Vicki and Peter, for your thoughts around medication and whatnot. It was really helpful to get your perspectives on that. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or you liked it at all, please give us a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for future videos. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day. Bye.